Hi everyone, Al the Psych here. I have a video today for informational purposes only, and this one is called Stress Reduction and Bugs Bunny. Okay, now I actually found these notes the other day that I had written back in 2011, and so I thought I'd have some fun today and share them in this video. So here we go. So stress is something we all associate with, work-related stress, school-related stress, family-related stress, anticipatory stress, and the list goes on. Okay. And maybe it is stress related to gathering wealth, having the biggest house on the street, being looked up to by others, or just taking life too seriously. Okay. Now sometimes stress can be beneficial. For example, a small amount of stress related to an upcoming test at school may actually be beneficial because it acts as a motivator to study and be prepared and hopefully that stress level is low enough that it's not going to be paralyzing. Unfortunately, sometimes stress can be overwhelming, and if stress becomes chronic, it can affect our health and, problems like high blood pressure, anxiety, adrenal fatigue, things like that. Okay. Now, fortunately, there are several ways to effectively deal with and manage stress. There's meditation, there's mindfulness, there's breathing techniques, and exercise. These are all some of the commonly used ways of dealing with stress. And then, of course, people often look to, like someone they admire to maybe get inspiration and deal with the situation. So you might look to Gandhi or Jesus or Buddha or someone like that, which is fine. But in my case, I actually look to Bugs Bunny. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, the psych has lost it. But if you are around my age, you probably grew up watching Looney Tunes and watching Bugs Bunny. And you might understand where I am coming from then. So let me go over this and see what you think. And if you're young, I think you can go on to, one of those TV stations that has Looney Tunes. Anyway, here we go. So how does Bugs Bunny work for me? All right, well, let's take a look at Bugs and some of his friends and foils from his cartoons and find out. Okay, we're going to find out whether what I'm talking about makes sense or not, or if I'm losing it. Okay, here we are. Ultimately, Bugs has an attitude toward life that helps him deal with stress. So, for example, Bugs is not caught up in pretense and keeping up with the Joneses. Okay, he is not into that. Think about it. He lives in a hole. Okay, he's not into displaying, all the fancy things that people can accumulate or having the biggest house on the block. None of that stuff. Okay, he lives in a hole. So that's one point right there. Okay, now, taking life too seriously is not a Bugs Bunny trait. Now, you can look to Daffy Duck for taking life too seriously. So if you remember the cartoon, This Is a Life, Bugs is being honored for his contribution to entertainment. Yet he doesn't get all full of himself. It's just like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm being honored and everything. Daffy, on the other hand, is fuming because he is not being honored. He thinks he has all the talent and everything. Okay, so again, Bugs, everything's cool. If I get the award, that's great. Thank you. If I don't get it, okay, that's cool too. Now, Bugs does not get caught up in being macho, okay? There's been scenes where he dresses up as a female. If you ever watched What's Opera Doc, okay, that's the cartoon name, He dresses up as a female. Okay, so he can't suffer from too much testosterone. Okay, so let's face it, guys, too much testosterone can be quite a stressor. Okay, so Bugs is kind of, testosterone levels pretty good there, not too high. Now, Bugs does not get caught up in accumulating excessive wealth. This is not like top priority where he's driving all the time, where he's got to get all of that money. No, you can look to Daffy for that. Okay, so now if you remember the classic Alibaba Bunny, okay, this is when Bugs and Daffy are traveling to, I believe, Pismo Beach. And on their journey, they find this incredible treasure. Daffy sees it, and he's screaming, "I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm comfortably well off." That's what he's screaming. Okay. Yet, Daffy gets fixated on keeping the treasure, even when his life is endangered after he finds this treasure. Bugs, on the other hand, he escapes the danger. He doesn't get caught up trying to stay with the treasure and, warding off the enemy or anything like that. He's not caught up in the lure of the excessive wealth. What does he do? He goes on to his trip, goes to Pismo Beach, sits by the ocean and eats some clams. Okay, everything's great for him while Daffy's stuck back there trying to fight for his treasure and possibly, giving up his life. Finally, Bugs does not use hot words or hot phrases. Hot words, hot phrases are words that are extreme. For example, if he doesn't ask me out, I'll just die. Or I hate it when she does that. Okay, so you can leave the hot words to Yosemite Sam. Okay, so just look at any of his cartoons, and he'll always be saying something like, so he's constantly angry and constantly raising his blood pressure. So there you have it. It all makes sense. So when you're feeling stressed, you need a way to deal with it, and you need to, look to somebody to get some inspiration from. You can look to Buddha or the Dalai Lama or Gandhi, but you also may want to give Bugs Bunny a try because he's worked for me. And that is it. Thank you.